I'm here in Medjugorje and I'm with, what's your name?
Jessica.
Jessica, where are you from?
Trinidad.
Wow, that's a long way from here.
Yes, it's in the Caribbean.
Why did you come here?
I was with a friend doing a facial or something like that, and she started to explain her feeling when she was in Medjugorje, and I realized that's exactly what I'm lacking in my life. Moved away from God. I don't have a sense of peace. Nothing seems to fill that void. I'm searching for something, but I don't know what it is. That's how I felt. So I decided at that point I started to read about Medjugorje, and I started to look at all your testimonials. I was so happy when I saw you this morning because I looked at maybe 100. And then I read My Heart Will Triumph. And when I read that book, it just took my breath away. I don't know, it just changed my outlook on life. And
It's a powerful book.
very powerful. I cried through it.
The title that people know on it.
My Heart Will Triumph. I don't know how to pronounce the name, but she's one of the visionaries, Mirijana, I think. Soldo. Miriana Soldo. It was amazing book. I cried.
Why could you cry?
The struggle that she went through the communist era, and how they still didn't give up their faith after everything, how they were tortured, and it really hit home for me. And I was going down a very bad path, and I thought I need to make a change in my life. So strangely enough, God, he must have interceded, because the lady who organized the trip messaged me as I finished the book. She's like, there's one slot left. You sure you don't want to come? I was like, I had just started a business, and I was like, I can't leave now. She's like, the business will be there when you get back. And I just took a chance and came, and it's the best trip I've ever been on. And I've traveled around a lot, and this is the best trip I've ever been on.
Why?
Well, first I went to confession, and that really, I felt like I had a clean slate, like I could move forward. Yes, I made some mistakes, but he also guided me in decisions that I couldn't make up my mind. I was so torn. And then he explained why, and his explanation was just so deep, and I knew what I had to do. And then I went to confession another day and another day. So I went 3 times. And on my way to seeing the Risen Christ, which is my favorite spot here in Medjugorje, it was like 5 a.m. I just got up. I was like, I have to go there. Strange, because I don't wake up really. And on my way there, I bounced up the same priest. Nobody else was around. The same priest that I did confession, that made such a difference, that let me let go of everything that was bothering me. I bounced him up at 5 a.m. in the morning. There's nobody around at that time. I just said, what are the chances? And then he turned to me and he's like, I'm so glad I saw you today, because I have a message for you from Our Lady and from Jesus. And I was like, what? And then he said a sentence to me that nobody could have known. Nobody could have known that about me. He couldn't have known. I didn't tell him. And it's what I wanted to hear my whole life. And that gave me a sense of peace that, and I know you shouldn't ask for a sign, but what was so strange was, as I was walking to the Risen Christ statue, I was praying to God, please send me a sign so I could get closer to you. I know I'm not supposed to ask for signs, I'm supposed to have faith. And then the priest that I love so much from my confession was there on the pathway. I just couldn't believe it. It was really a sign from God. And since then, I just have been really enjoying praying, going to mass. None of my friends or family would believe that I like to go to mass twice a day. I like to go to confession.
Say that again.
They wouldn't believe it. I don't want to leave this place to go and do anything tourist around the area. I just want to stay and go to mass and go to confession. And it's the best I've ever felt in a long time. So I really recommend it.
You went to Cross Mountain Apparition Hill?
I went to Apparition Hill. I
How's
enjoyed that. It was very nice, but I'm going to go back by myself. I enjoy being by myself here. It's really, that's when I find I feel so close to God, when I'm not distracted and I'm just alone.
There's a rule or spiritual rule, Our Lady guides you when you enter the place, you know?
It is, I feel like a different person. A different person.
And you were Catholic before?
Yes.
Like
Catholic,
Catholic
just not practicing, not going to mass.
Like me.
Yeah, hadn't been to confession since I was 16, but this trip has changed my life. I'm going to be totally different when I go back. A lot of things are going to change.
And you have good friends around. These
Yes.
people are good people here. You know, there they
They
are.
are
And,
very,
you
very
know,
much so.
It's good to be in community afterwards, not to lose it again.
Yes, to keep your faith.
You know?
Yeah.
And yeah, you start praying the rosary now, or how?
Yes, I started. I'm praying it with my daughter. We started doing it before I came, watching your testimonials, reading the book. So it's just a little decade at a time. But you know, now when I go back, I'm gonna try and convert my husband.
I like that one. Keep me updated.
But even last night when I spoke to him, I was so shocked. He agreed to come to church with me, which is something, you know,
Power of a woman.
he that was very touching for me, because my daughter, I'm talking to her and she's like, "Mommy, are you bringing me back a rosary so we could go to church together?" So the fact that he said that as an atheist, it's very promising for me. I'm very
You will
excited.
see. Good man. Must be a good man. You're a
Yes,
good
he
person,
is.
you
He
know.
is. Yeah.
And what would you tell people? Why should they come to Medjugorje?
Because you'll never feel a better peace or joy in your life. Nothing like this. I've traveled. I mean, this is the best I've ever felt.
Really?
Yeah.
Thank you for this
Yeah.
beautiful interview.
Thank you, Tom, for